Hey gamers, today we're going to look at the game 2x2. Let's check it out. To set up for the game, you're going to take all of these little land tokens, you're going to put them on the little circles where the land is, and then you're going to, each player is going to get an arc. Either there's the green, blue, red, and yellow, and they're going to put their arc spaces around that area. They can put them on any space where you see the arc space here. Now, even though there are 6 spaces, there's only enough for 4 players. You got your score trackers right here. They'll start off here from the 1. Everyone's going to get one of these little score trackers, so if they pass the 50, they'll keep this on them. If they pass it again, they'll flip it over to indicate they have over 100 points. Also, any tokens that are touching water are automatically flipped over, as you see here. This is why this one's not flipped over, because it's touching land pieces. And then you're going to have a bunch of water pieces over there. So how a player's turn begins is they're going to take one of these little water pieces and they're going to place it anywhere on the land. And when they do, they're going to, first off, get victory points to how many water pieces they've connected it to. So for instance, if this was green, green would get 2 victory points. Now on top of that, any water that's touching land, you get to flip these cards over, or these little tokens over. Now at this point, I have 2 actions I can do. Actions can be moving, so I can move 2, or if I was already up here, I could take 2 animals and load them in my arc. Now the only rule when taking animals is there has to be a matching animal already on the board. So for instance, this zebra, I could take this zebra and then take this one over here. I don't have to be next to it, I just have to be next to one. Same thing with this frog. I could take this frog here and then take the one over here. And when I do that, since I'm the green player, I'd put the frogs there and I'd put the zebras there. Now on everyone's player board, they have the same type of animals they need to get, but each player board is different, with each row, different row here being a different double score. So for instance, if I was green, I want cats, dogs, and mice. Yellow is really looking for frogs, monkeys, and doves. That's what's going to get them extra victory points. Red's looking for the second row, and blue's looking for animals on the first row. So it kind of gives you a little bit of initiative to go for certain types of animals, but you surely do want all of them. And if you can get some that no one else can get, that's also going to give you points at the end of the game. So that's how the game's going to go on. Now you see there are these fish tokens here, and there are no fish on the board. Fish tokens are just basically worthless. So they're just there for looks. You can't really load them in. However, you can play water tokens over a fish token as well, and then that would reveal these 3 more. I could also play water tokens over an animal and kill that animal. If I didn't want someone else to get, let's say, that zebra there. I didn't want red to get a zebra because they get double points for zebras. So on my next turn, I just flood that zebra there. Maybe that's what you want to do, just block someone from getting points. Now the game ends when all the flood tokens have been used. After that, each player will count up all their animals, what they got. They're going to get 1 point for each animal, unless it's animals that are in their double row. They'll get 2 points for those. If you are the only person to collect a certain type of animal, then you're going to get double points for that as well. So it kind of, if you get a monopoly on animals, that's really good for you. By the way, there is a unicorn. There's only 2 unicorn tokens on the board. So if you get that, that's automatically going to be double the points. And of course, whoever has the most points wins. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, it's a children's game, really. Maybe for families too. Very simple game. It is fun to play. We did have a lot of fun. Me and my nephews played this and did enjoy it. You can get lost. There is a little bit of strategy. Sometimes, you know, you can get up to like 6 points if you place those flood tokens just right. And sometimes you get lost in those points on the flood when the actual points are the animals. You don't need to forget that. Now, getting exclusive one animal where no one else can get him is also a good strategy to have, and destroying animals in a flood, even though that sounds mean, is another good strategy to keep other people from scoring. You say, oh man, they're right next to a frog and I see a frog over there. I'm going to put my flood token over on that frog. Even though it doesn't help me, it hurts him. That's really neat. I like that. Now, there are some house rules that people put online about this game to make it more complex when it comes to scoring, but to be honest, the simple, straightforward way is pretty fun. Now, I see this game getting super discounted online these days, so if you think it's worth a couple of bucks, yeah, go ahead and give it a try. If you're part of a Sunday school or a church gathering, yeah, I think this would definitely be one that you'd be interested in, or just for kids and families. I think it's fun too. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on!